Alright, here's the US-Dojo plans. It shouldn't take that much because I didn't really have a proper ending, so I didn't plan that far ahead. Okay, from show 15, which was the next show, the you saw it from the video, from the thing for the suicidal and this partner. We did the unknown guy activated their boss mode, their final boss mode. How that was supposed to work was that the final boss mode was it basically gives you the power of a final boss in a video game. And it has to be recharged over time. You can't abuse it. Once you use it, it has to recharge. Okay, the Chow Fang would try to make the save for Kitty Omega, and they get destroyed because final boss mode. And then after that, Blaine would pretty much destroy the Metal Core, Blaine the Mono, and Hyman would attack him. I should have said that. I did that order. Hyman, he raided KJ Muto before this match, so Hyman would try to attack Blaine and succeed until KJ Muto would show up and make the save, and Blaine and Muto would have this alliance against Hyman, which is interesting. US Dojo title, Hayabusa 2 versus Chris Sabin, Smash in the Halloween Pumpkin return, and Carlson saving the match, and that's the end of their feud. It's just basically the final laugh. The plan was to have a third person join Smash in the Halloween Pumpkin. Is either going to be Rabbit Ryan, who I don't think people really remember Rabbit Ryan, but he was cool in my book, or this guy that I used to make on these old games called Butt Pirate. Nothing special with that. And from that show on, I'm pretty sure it just would have been on cruise control until the mega event, which was swashbuckled. It was going to be a pirate themed stage because why not? And let's see what we got here. Okay, there's going to be a... Okay, this probably should have explained this. There's going to be... Because of Suicidal and the random guy... Because of the Suicidal and the random guy doing tag team stuff, and people trying to stop them, namely the Chow Fang, they're basically... That would introduce the tag team titles US Dojo. So, the first match would be Suicidal and random guy with... Dr. Steen would face the Chow Fang for the tag team titles. Prince Chong turns heel, walks off against Lionheart, and Suicidal and Random Guy win. Next up would be the Valiant Championship. And by the way, the tag team titles probably would have had some funky name with them, like the Valiant title has a funky name. Tauros versus Augustine versus Psycho Clown versus Chimera. And we ran with Lucha Tag rules, which was something like if there can only be two people in the ring at the same time, but if one person leaves, the other one, someone else can come in or something like that. Lucha Tag rules are weird. But Tauros wins because Augustine hits his finisher on someone and Tauros throws him out. Or not throws him out, well, Tauros steals the pin basically, so. The storyline here was basically Lucha guys and then Augustine. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention thing about at show 15 where Augustine has a promo against Tauros and they argue with each other in Latin and Spanish respectively. That was fun to write. It was pretty ridiculous. And next will be Hyman versus Blaine the Mono and KJ Muta. Hyman would win because of Blaine and Muto arguing with each other because, I mean, they're rivals from the Terror Train days and Bureau versus Bureau. There's only 4 matches here, so I'm assuming that I'd have more. I didn't get to put down. In the US Dojo title, My Machine versus Hayabusa 2 with Chono. Chono betrays Hayabusa 2. My Machine takes advantage and wins the title. Okay, so from here, Mind Machine, I purposely made his character kind of bland on purpose because what I wanted you to feel was that he was undeserving, that I was only making him the champion because I made him. That was the entire point. An effort to not like him because there would be this dynamic because storyline, the fans thought that Mind Machine and Chono worked out a deal, when in reality Mind Machine had nothing to do with the deal. It was just Chono acting on his own. So it It was a slow burn heel turn kind of deal. And also Prince Chong joined up with Chono to form their Italian, not Italian. It's really the Yakuza, but I like calling it the Japanese Mafia because I don't know why. Because I don't really know why, but just run with it. So My Machine basically has internal battles with himself because he feels like he doesn't deserve the title, and then the fans are running against him. And Cesaro Augustine actually becomes a slow burn face, starting with the swashbuckle match actually, because he was going to win until Toros screwed him over. Augustine would slowly turn face. Hayabusa 2 versus Chono. That feud was basically going to be Hayabusa 2 owed the Japanese Mafia, aka Yakuza, money, and he fled to America instead of paying the money, and Chono followed him and waited for the opportune moment to turn on him. So that basically is that was a weird one, but from there we shift to a video game. It's more, US-Dojo becomes more like a video game, like with the final boss mode and power-ups and stuff. And the idea here was, give me a minute, I'm trying to remember. Each brand, your wrestling style basically gives you certain advantages and disadvantages. Lucha would be more flipping and stuff, more aerial assault. Canadian style would be more technical and submission based. American style would be more powerhouse. Puro style would mean you can end the match on any move. Was there anything else forgetting? Oh yes, Cesaro Augustine, but that's more for his character and there's really anything else. The mega event after Swashbuckle would have Blaine and Muta versus Hyman again, but Blaine and Muta activate their final boss mode to get both independently activate their final boss mode so they can just destroy Hyman. So that just would have been there for funsies. Let's see if there's anything else I have to mention. Who's the Canadian guy that was on the show? Aiden Bain. Him and what's his face? Curtis Black would form a tag team. That was the idea. I don't think I was gonna go through with it. Wow, I feel like I knew a lot more stuff than I was letting on. I feel like I know more than I do. And for the US-Dojo title history, Hayabusa 2 to Mind Machine, I explained that. Cesaro Augustine, the moment continuing their feud, but it become more of a double turn. And the moment Cesaro Augustine wins the title, he's basically face, and Mind Machine's basically heel. From there, we got Blaine the Mono. Nothing really interesting there. He just destroys them because he's Blaine. From there, it's no one can beat Blaine. So Suicido from the Terror Train days shows up. I think he would have done injury there or something. I'm not sure, but they never faced off against each other, and when they do, Suicido wins. And from there, it continues on to Cesaro Augustine wins the title back from Suicido. And the idea behind that was the first time they faced off, Augustine almost won and only lost because Mind Machine screwed him. And it basically goes back to that. Because aside from Hayabusa 2, Cesaro Augustine was the only one that got close to beating Suicido. The Valiant title, Suicido vacant, Toros. Toros was a heel, and then he was going to turn face before leaving, was the idea. I made a long post on the EuroWL forums, I'm just going to link you to that, describing what was going to happen with him. And from there, either Great Muta or Chimera would win the title, then Prince Chong, so I'm assuming Prince Chong winning the title. His name would be different, by the way. I just didn't have enough time to work it out with the guy, like what his new name and look would be. Oh boy, what was I gonna say? I'm assuming this would have been during the Hayabusa 2 feud with Chono, probably. So there's that, and then this is our Augustine, alluding to a promo from the last show, from show 14, where Augustine said he wanted both titles. Oh yeah, that was the idea behind the whole Lucha thing. I'm going back to Swashbuckle. The four-way, the storyline of that was Augustine wanted to be a double champion, so he was going to get the Valiant title first. Okay, that makes sense now. That's really it, because I didn't really plan that far ahead. If you want to know anything specific about oh yeah, I almost forgot about the Metalcore. Yeah, Mega Dude was going to win a match at some point. I don't know against who, I don't know who would have been, but Mega Dude would have won a match at some point. I think that's it. I don't know, I can't really think of anything else off the top of my head. If you want to know anything specific about specific people, just ask, and I'm sure it will jog my memory, but that's all I got right now. So, unless I make a second video of stuff I just forgot about,
I miss you.
then yeah, that's basically everything the US-Dojo had going for it. If you're curious about any specific character, please ask about them in the comment section, and I'm sure that will jog my memory. Because right now I can't really think of anything right now. So, that is the end of my CAW stuff. It was cool. It was cool.